Hello everybody, Lee here, back for Newcastle Fans TV for day 3 of Euro 2016. We're going to jump straight into the action with the 2 o'clock kickoff, which was Turkey against Croatia. Croatia running out 1-0 winners. Now looking at the lineups of the Turkish side, you probably have to say Arda Turan had a shocking game. No wonder he was substitute off. I mean, he was playing left wing and he wasn't even staying on the left wing, which caused Turkish problems going forward on that left flank massively. Çalhanoğlu was also the specialist for free kicks, didn't really have an opportunity on the ball. And then you've also looking at Hakan Tosan, who didn't even have a chance up front. He was poor as well. The Turkish side, they're hit and miss. I mean, when they played against England, they looked really threatening. So maybe this was an off day, or maybe that Croatia were really, really good on this occasion. Let me know what you think of your comments down there below. Looking at the Croatian lineup, they had Rakitic, Modric, Mandzukic, Perisic, all quality players who play in the top leagues across Europe. So they were the main 4. And obviously, in the first 40 minutes, 45 minutes, there wasn't much going on. They had a couple of minor chances from Croatia, but the goal that Modric scored, what a goal that is. What an outstanding piece of technique. Turkey headed the ball out, and then Modric from about 25 yards just pings it on the volley to the bottom corner. It was a dipper. And then Babacan in goal, probably some people are saying he should have done better, but for me, that's a quality strike. That's got to be up there already with a contender for goal of the tournament so far. So great start, and then obviously 1-0 up going into half time. Croatia running the show, I felt, all the way through the game as well. Also in the second half, you had to see Turkey come out, so Fatih Terim was making a lot of changes, and also we're going to see a star in Emre Mor, who also come off the bench as well. He played about 22 minutes. He's just moved to Dortmund, so keep an eye out for him. So Croatia had a lot of, obviously, the chances. Perisic in particular, missing a load of chances. I know he's a winger. He's had a couple of opportunities which were headers, and he also had a one-on-one, which is a tight angle, which Babacan saved. But I've said this before in the Switzerland game and the England game, if you don't take your chances further on in this tournament, that will come back and punish you. If you're up against, say, the Germans or the Spanish later on in the tournament, they'll just punish you with one chance. Literally, so Perisic, yes, Croatia hit the bar twice. I think Dario Srna hit the bar with a free kick, so he was unlucky from a central position. But Turkey obviously had to come out and attack. They didn't really offer much going forward, so I was quite disappointed in Turkey. Croatia are 25-1 to win this tournament. It's a good outside bet if you're betting Croatia as well. So good, nice, easy win. I think it was an easy win personally for me. Croatia winning 1-0 at the Parc des Princes. So we're going to move on now to the Northern Ireland game, which unfortunately finished Poland 1, Northern Ireland 0. Actually wanted Northern Ireland to do well because we're a home nation, and they've got a few English players in this side. Sorry, Northern Irish players, you know what I mean. Born in England, born and raised. Looking at the Poland lineup, they've got a few stars there. You've obviously got Piszczek, you've got Krajinovac, you've got Blaszczykowski, Lewandowski, Milek, who also was a goal scorer, plays at Ajax as well. Northern Ireland setup is literally the wing-back system with 3 centre-backs, Ferguson as a left wing-back, and then we had McLaughlin as a right wing-back, and then they also had McNair and Baird, who are also very defensive, sitting in front of them. So the game itself, there wasn't a great amount of chances compared to the other games. The goal came on the 51st minute where Northern Ireland, well, we'll go back to the first half. The first half, Northern Ireland were very, very deep, and I thought it's only a matter of time before Poland score. And when Poland do score, Northern Ireland will have to come out and attack, which obviously Michael O'Neill done in the second half. He went attacking, and it didn't pay off. I think the quality at the end of the day, Poland obviously were the much better side, but it's a quality that lacking. You're comparing the two nations, and you would obviously predict that Poland will go a lot further than Northern Ireland. The goal come, Milek picked it up, the Ajax striker from the edge of the box. Great little finish, bottom corner, beats McGovern, 1-0 up, and you're thinking, this could be curtains. But credit to be credit, Northern Ireland, heart puffed and puffed. They put the heart into it. They couldn't get the goal. The quality, I mean, Kyle Lafferty up front was quite isolated and big chunks of the game. For me, Northern Ireland, when he brought on Connor Washington, Michael O'Neill, when he brought him on, it looked a lot better. But I felt that if Northern Ireland are going to play this formation in their 3 games now that they've got beaten, they're going to have to start picking up points in the next 2 games or they're heading home. So maybe a change of formation you might see for Northern Ireland in the future. A little bit disappointing that they got the 1-0 defeat, the one of the first home nations to suffer defeat. So fingers crossed for Northern Ireland that they'll pick it up. Let me know what you think of Northern Ireland's game in your comments down below. So the third game, Ukraine 0, Germany 2, which was quite an interesting affair, and especially in the first half. When you looked at, obviously, the Ukrainian side, there's 2 main guys that I actually really like, which is Yarmolenko and Konoplyanko, which isn't easy to say. They're the two wingers who they don't get on, but they're the best Ukrainian players on the market at the moment. So keep an eye out for those two in the future if you haven't heard of them. The German side, there's a couple of issues at the back, but looking at the Hawades, you've got Boateng, Mustafi and Hector. Then the midfield picked itself. Schweinsteiger wasn't fit though, he was on the bench. And obviously we know that he'd come off the bench and scored. So looking at the game, Ukraine started off the blocks and that Neuer was made it into force into a save when Konoplyanka only drilled it high and went to bend it, and Neuer had to push it over. And it wasn't the first time in that first half. He had to push one over the bar by Kasharidi as well. So Neuer was making his work cut out in Ukraine, and especially in the first half, was starting really, really brightly. But then the Germans started to take control. The machine, as I call them, started to take control. The goal came in the 19th minute when Croatia, I have to say, Croatia was fantastic, probably without a shadow of a doubt, him and Khedira, but Kroos nicks it for me, man of the match, outstanding. Whips the ball in, and then Mustafi beats his marker and heads home in the top corner. Payatev, the Ukrainian goalkeeper, has got no chance for that. So 1-0 up, and then it was literally after that, except from the other Ukrainian chance, it was all Germany. They had a couple of chances through Draxler. I thought Gotha was quite disappointing myself. I thought he had disappointing. I know he hasn't had much football because of injuries, but he was quite disappointing. And obviously we had a couple of other chances through Khedira. Muller as well, he was quite quiet as well. We didn't expect Thomas Muller to be that quiet as well, especially in the first half. Going into the second half, however, it was almost like a one-way traffic. I mean, Kroos had a drive from about 25 yards on the 51st minute that just went over. And then Radinsky, that was the only other Ukrainian threat, the free kick where the centre-back drills it low and Neuer has to push it around. So the threat from Ukraine was still there. However, Germany would then dominate the possession. Ukraine was starting to get tired out. Khedira had a pop from long range, Payet saved. We had Kroos, another one who had a shot, which saves a Payatev. Mustafi was almost in danger himself, the Germany centre-back, when he headed it over Neuer. And I thought for a moment Ukraine were going to get an equaliser. However, it was a one-sided game, despite Ukrainian having 2 or 3 shots. But there are threat, and I'll come on to that in a moment. But in the 92nd minute, Schweinsteiger, who come off, who's trying to get a bit of match fitness, come on, literally about 88th minute, and the Germany scored on the counter-attack. Ukraine had a corner. They couldn't get it back in the box, and then the ball was played to Ozil on the left, who was counter-attacking, whips a beautiful ball in. You've seen Muller running, you've seen Schweinsteiger running. It went to Schweinsteiger, and he side-footed at top corner. And Germany won the game 2-0, but it wasn't a easy win. I know they dominated a lot of possession, but you can see that Germany are quite weak at the back, and obviously we know they've got a world-class goalkeeper in Neuer, but Ukraine, for me, they could literally go through. You know, I know they were disappointing, especially second half, the wingers as well, Yarmolenko and Konoplyanka. I know they were disappointing second half, but they are a real threat to this group. I fancy them, if they don't get second place, to get one of the best third positions, because 4 teams will qualify for the best third. Ukraine, with them attacking wingers, especially with the chances, are a real threat. Let me know what you think of all of today's football, including the Germany result today. Get your comments in there down below. And thanks for watching Newcastle's Fans TV. I've been Lee, and I'll see you later.